Okay, so we are back for episode 21 of Building a Box podcast. It's the first full week of January. We have survived Blue Monday, Black Monday, whatever you want to call it. Apparently it's the most depressing day of the year. We are now at tail end of the week and it has been a good week. It's interesting. January is always one of the most interesting, I think, periods because people come back. If you've done Christmas well, re-energized with hope, they're looking to make progress. That's not only just myself, but I think businesses across the world, people as well. They start the fads, they start the running. And a lot of the time, people fail with stuff they set out to achieve because it's unrealistic and they haven't put the systems in place. So it's worth keeping that in mind. A lot of the big goals we are trying to achieve this year, we're making sure to put the systems in place so that they can be achieved. One of the things that the system we are building is for the B2B claw machines. So the claw machines I talked about a lot that are going into venues across the UK and Ireland. I've bit the bullet and hired someone to lead the sales for that because it's not something I feel comfortable with, and we need someone to go into places, get in front of decision makers and get them on board, get our machines out there. I've also bit the bullet on 49 machines coming straight from our supplier. They will arrive just before the World Cup so we can get these machines across and numerous venues making money in time for the World Cup. So we're building foundations for the growth that we want to achieve, because I think it would have been very safe play if we tried to make a few sales ourselves, but by being brave, hiring someone whose only focus is to sell this machine, I think we can take it to 800 machines in the UK and Ireland. In terms of building also foundations and goals for the year, this morning we sat down, well, the team sat and I stood. We did our annual review for 2025. I just want to touch on how far we came, because when I sat down and did that meeting last year, it was 5 of us huddled around a desk, not too dissimilar to this, in the Grand Central, which is a fancy hotel in Belfast, but we were still just in a cafe essentially. This year we booked out a room, we put on a full spread, and we had 11 people. It was great. Double the team of we had last year. We had the 3 new people we've hired, 4 if you include December, all in the room, and including Ross, who I've hired for the B2B sales. And we just sat down and we went through what happened last year. Everyone talked through stuff they learned, good and bad, what we can take forward into next year. It was interactive. We played a few games. I also then set out our vision statement. I framed it with the Tesla statement, which I really love, from Elon Musk about 20 years ago. I worked a lot on the vision statement, so I built this brochure of, I think it was 16 pages in the end. It was a thick brochure, like paper copy, and I gave it out to everyone in the team to take home and keep it. It basically explains what we're trying to achieve this year. I'm really proud of it. Everyone seemed to be really bought in with it, and the people who were there from last year were like, wow, we've gone up a level. And the people who are new to the room, our new hires, also really loved it and enjoyed it. So I'm really happy with how today went. I think few companies do this, but they don't do it well. I'm not saying we're great at it, but we're learning every year. And I think it really sets the tone when you talk openly in a forum manner for people buying further into what you're trying to do. People feel motivated for the year ahead of them. I touched on the fact that we had 3 new starts this month. Alex has just joined us, so she is our e-com growth, and she actually sits on this desk here. She'll be assisting with offers, landing pages. She'll be assisting with sales psychology, email flows. She will be doing a lot. It's really exciting. I've found, because she's starting with no real background in e-commerce, that I'm going to have to spend a lot of time investing into her education by trying to pass on my knowledge, trying to mentor, and trying to provide as much visual through videos and through podcasts, education, so that I'm not too involved. But I think it will pay dividends in 6, 12 months, 18 months when my time is further stretched and I can't focus on what the offer is, what the landing page is, what the promotion is, and Alex can take that on for me. Whilst it's costing me time now, I think that's something that will pay back immensely. So far, so good. I joined Venice Ecom Club, I think it's called. It's a European e-commerce founders network. So I think they do monthly webinars and then quarterly meetups in person. It's meant to be the antidote to the American e-com culture. So basically in Europe, we have very little. To be fair, in Ireland, there's good things. There's Ecom Live, which does really well. But as in Europe as a whole, there's not too much. And so this is meant to be the fix for that. It seems like a good community. I think in-person events are the way to go for them. I think that is how you get the most value out of them. It'll be interesting to see kind of what the connections are like at that. I'll probably go to 1 or 2 events this year and see if it's good for networking, if the quality of speakers are good, and I'll feed back on that as I go through. It's very hard in e-commerce to find a tribe. I think I'm lucky that because I post a lot of content, people can find me. And I've also sent messages to people and met people at events. I put myself out there that I have found them. But I mean, I've been in the industry 4 years now, 5 years. So it's took time to get there. I think over time it compounds, but I'm excited to see who I meet. I want to meet some crack Dutch kids because it's just a known fact within the e-commerce community that the Netherlands produces probably per capita the highest ratio of e-commerce businesses who like scale to multi-millions. There must be something in the water over there. They do really, really well. I think there's a lot of learnings to be said there. And as we push to expand more, we have a talented languages team. We can go into these countries. And if I'm picking up learnings from these other founders who are in Europe, then I think it could be really beneficial. So I'll feedback on what that's like. I've only just joined. It's £100 per month. It's 150 members. So they're making good money, whoever the owners are of this, for digital membership. It's a good business model. But hopefully it is value for us. Then to wrap up, I had an interesting few offers recently in terms of areas we can have a fixed store location. So I put up a post basically on LinkedIn maybe a week ago. I think it was before New Year's. And I was discussing, we've done the Christmas market for 3 years. We need to grow and do something else. We've had a few offers, exciting ones. I think they could work well. We're now trying to see what's feasible, what's not. We've got the World Cup coming up. Again, it's a lot of time to sink into this stuff. So I'm careful with how much time we put into everything, but we need to make that step as a brand so that we can become a household name. We can become more than just an e-commerce website. There's a lot of garbage, I think, in the retail space, and you have to be careful to weed through it. Now, I'm no expert in any of this. It does require skill to pick out the good and the bad and the ugly, but I think we'll land on a spot within a year or so. We're putting ourselves out there. People know we're in the market, and because we've got such an online presence, we do get opportunities other brands wouldn't. I'm excited to see where this all goes. The thing is, getting into retail will never make you as much money as being online, but it gives a lot more solid foundations. I think in terms of things do go tits up on the website, you've just got your physical store that churns over this amount of money every month, and that is really valuable. So yeah, that's all for episode 21. I'll be back next week. I have a few exciting things on next week. I'm meeting someone really big. I'm actually reading their autobiography right now, so I'll touch base on that. It could be huge. We've decided a few promotions already for the year, which I'll probably explain in that episode. But thanks a lot, and I'll see you next week.